Welcome back to Trading 360. I'm Nicole Petalides, live on the floor of the New York Stock Exchange. It's time for the big three. 3 stocks, 3 charts, 3 trades. Ben Lichtenstein will take us through the charts. Here to take us through the trades, Joel Hawthorne is with us, Retail Trader Magazine. Great to see you both. Look, we're still getting headlines. This is what used to be known as the Humphrey Hawkins testimony, so we'll keep an eye on Powell for 2 days, but I think we know what he's saying. But if any surprises pop up, let me know. In the meantime, gentlemen, any gains today will be new records. Joel, how do you feel about the market overall?
So glad to be on the show. Thank you, guys. Ultimately, I am a bull. And I think that what I'm seeing here is just really making me nervous, though. I think that just seeing so many names rally and go to their highs, all-time highs, 52-week highs, that's a narrative that's been going on for quite some time. This bullish momentum has really been going since about October, late October, early November, and I just really am anticipating some kind of breath in the market, some kind of stoppage and some kind of consolidation. When that happens, I don't know, but I am very, very nervous and cautious about that. So I am a bull, but because it's just so hard to fight this trend, but I am getting very nervous.
Yeah, you're not alone. I mean, I've been speaking with people that are just taking profits faster. So they'll buy a dip or they'll make a move, but when they see the profit, they take it faster rather than leaving it there because they too are nervous. So I've definitely been hearing a little bit of that, Joel. Let's talk about Octa, which had this high of 114 and change back in March after earnings, but then the next earnings gapped down. Tell me a little bit about this story and why this one jumped out at you.
Originally this morning, just right around the opening bell, I was looking very bullish. And then obviously we can see this thing is down over 6% right now. So not looking great for bullish sentiment here on the day. But this is one that I thought really could have some momentum to break above that $100 mark again and kind of see some upward action. But right now, I mean, we're down 6%, over 6%, down $6 right now. This one's just getting annihilated today. But overall, we're still thinking somewhat bullish.
Look, unless there's another reason, if you liked it 6% ago, you must really like it down 6%. Don't you think this is a buying, right? If you liked it this morning, unless there's a reason it's really selling off, and I understand what you're saying, but when you like something at $100, don't you like it at $80 better? I get what you're saying, but it does bring some apprehension about market turning or what's behind it, because it is a big move. Ben?
It is a big move, Nicole, but it's still a stock that's been within a range over a long period of time now. And within that bigger picture, longer term range, we could see some upside potential. So you're going to notice the pattern behind me here, a very bearish type pattern, and definitely not what Joel's looking for if he wants to get back up and through that $100 level. But I agree with him. That's a possibility as we're really kind of in a bit of a random phase here right now. We'll break that down. We'll get into the bigger picture. Let's start with some of the selling we saw today. The high conviction move lower. And actually, when I drew these charts and got them prepared for us, we were trading around 95.50. I was identifying this vertical move to the downside. You can see that that's continued. We always talk about within trends, continuation being more likely than change, or another way of saying it's your friend, simply put, right? So positioning with it. And the reason you say that is because these patterns that play out, the high conviction move, sideways consolidation, that transition from one phase to the next, you can actually see it occurring, look at this, multiple times here. If you get very granular and pull out that kind of fine-tooth comb, that microscope, I mean, this is a 1-minute candle chart, so I don't want to spend too much time on it, but I did want to talk just briefly about those 2 phases and about the conviction that we're seeing on this intraday chart lower, taking a step away from the 1-minute into a longer term chart right away. We're going to get into it here. And this is why I think that, again, we could now start to see some sideways consolidation if we were to find our way back to this $100 level, just build a bit of a range here, upper extreme around 115, 117, we'll call it lower extreme around this $87, $90 level, but bull trend to the upside on the longer term here. You can see, now I did mention that this stock's very familiar with being and has been stuck in quite the range for some time now. So again, random price activity while you're in this horizontal phase where there's opportunity oftentimes amidst the bulls and the bears here, a little bit of a meeting of the minds between both sides. And definitely if you're going to look for smaller gains within this range, that's a possibility. But longer term trend down here. Again, we just looked at the daily, which is showing a little bit of an upward trend. So this is a stock that's kind of mixed. As I said here, there's some consolidation playing out here, and there's a bit of opportunity, I think, for both sides here, depending on your parameters and your time frame.
Right, understood. You know, it's interesting because it's not that long ago that Guggenheim reiterated a buy rating and put a 130 target. I mean, they did that on the 25th of June, and that's a most recent analyst call. RBC on the 17th maintained a 125 price target. So they are also feeling bullish like you, Joel. A quick thought here?
Yeah, you know, reopened, I think, here at about $98 a share. And this is when I was looking for structuring this trade for selling a 90 put, simultaneously buying an 87.50 put, expiring here next month around the 16th, picking up a credit of about 38 cents with a break even of 89.61. So although the trade is still favorable, there's plenty of time because that we are still above that break even for bullish for this bullish spread. But it's very uncomfortable right now in the event that because we're trading so close to that 90 strike. So still bullish, but to this pullback to below 6% on the day makes it extremely uncomfortable.
All right, understood. Next up, Palantir, and we could just say, wow, right? New highs.
Yeah.
Some thoughts there.
You know, this is a stock that I think still has room for some momentum to the upside. I think as we start to continue to talk about the AI stuff, I think this is one that really doesn't get spoken about enough. I think everything from a lot of the people in the C-suites are some of the leaders in that AI arena. And I think this is one that's just going to continue to be slept on and gain some momentum for shareholders. So this is one I'm very optimistic about.
Right, understood. So you want to get long on this stock. You feel bullish. It's up 79% in 1 year. Ben, take a look at the chart, please.
Yeah, Nicole, our last example was kind of mixed, right? Depending on which time frame you were talking about and which pattern you were looking for. But Joel did mention how he was a little bit concerned about some of the selling that we saw on that last stock as the magnitude, the pace that we had seen lower. But let's take a look at Palantir because this is a completely different example. I mean, there is a bullish narrative playing out here across multiple time frames, and it's easily identifiable. It's not as difficult as our last example. Let's start off with the 5-minute candle chart. You can see two phases of development. I've identified them with these two separate areas. Look, high conviction to the upside, sideways consolidation, building balance around this 2770 level. Now, you could actually take a step back. You could really dissect this and look at this as three separate areas, but just giving the benefit of the doubt to the bulls here and kind of bigger picture, broader range. When in doubt, zoom out, look at this area that we've been forming over the last couple days this week as one larger area. All right, moving away from the 5-minute candle chart, we've got an hourly queued up here, going all the way back to when the stock was trading down around 2021. We're talking about middle of May, we'll call it, all the way up to recently as high as just shy of 28.40. Again, kind of balancing around this $27 level. The way I see it, the bulls want to hold above 25. As long as they do, it looks like this pattern or this process we're seeing value form at higher and higher levels continues. We are forming acceptance of this upper level here right now by establishing value. They want to see a breakout, right? In addition to holding above 25, break out and form a new area of value, continue the staircase pattern to the upside here, and just that wash, rinse, repeat type situation. Wanted to look at this daily candle chart with you through two separate lenses. One, the idea that we're trying to get something vertical going here to the upside. Even today, although we are lower, we did see a higher high and a higher low. So this breakout is happening. Tomorrow will be key, right? Do we take out today's high? Again, not all out loss, just the fact that we've come off because we did take out yesterday's highs and holding above yesterday's lows, it looks like. But again, either a vertical phase here or another scenario that I drew up here, which is not necessarily what the bulls want to see, and that would be a bit of a double top kind of playing out here, right? And ultimately seeing, again, that 28.29 level establishing a bit of a hurdle for them to get above 27.28. So just keeping an eye on that. Again, potential double top or breakout. I think tomorrow's going to be somewhat telling with this one.
All right, so we'll have to wait and see a little bit. You see the double top. Can we break out even further? Final quick thought here, and then we got to get to JPMorgan.
Absolutely. Looking for an entry price near 26.54-ish or lower for a possible long-term hold there of the stock itself. Like I said, I just think Palantir is really one of the slept-on leaders in the AI arena. So definitely want to be bullish here.
Right, understood. All right, next up, JPMorgan. Of course, Friday we'll be hearing from all these banks that kick off earnings season. You heard Jay Woods a moment ago talking positively about Jamie Dimon and JPMorgan overall. Where do you think this one's headed? It's just off that high of 210 and change. Where do you think is important to watch for JPMorgan, Joel?
You know, I'm a bull here. I do like JPMorgan. I think having some risk in the banks. If I have to have that for my portfolio, it would definitely be in JPMorgan because they are the leadership as far as banking goes. Currently trading 207. I think that in this very near term here, near resistance levels would be somewhere along the lines of about 208 and change, 208 and a quarter, all the way up to possibly 211. So I am optimistic here, and I think that if this market continues to be favorable, a bank like JPMorgan will reap the benefits of that. So looking for bullish momentum here.
What's interesting is Wealth Research recently cut JPMorgan to peer perform and highlighted Bank of America as the outperform. And this was a valuation call. And a few of the analysts' calls that I see here, the recent top for price targets, Keefe, Bruyette, and Woods has 211. I saw another one for 211. I don't really see a lot higher than that. So I think they wonder if this name is fully valued or not. Let's talk about the chart, Ben.
No indication it's topped out yet, Nicole. If anything, the exact opposite, right? This one is actually seeking value right now higher on a longer term time frame. We'll get into that chart in just a minute, but let's begin with the bullishness we're seeing on the hourly, the 60-minute candles. This is a stock that's rallied since the end of April. We're talking beginning of May, around 180, 190, all the way up to 211. You can see that we are establishing value and currently balancing around 208. So again, acceptance of a big move up here. We're talking about a lot of conviction on this screen, bottom left, top right, as long as we hold above 200, it looks to me like the bulls are still in charge, right? Because as we're balancing, constantly referencing that last area of consolidation we formed. And again, as long as we hold above, that idea that we're establishing value at higher and higher levels appears to be a valid one, a valid working assumption. Let's take a step back away from the hourly candle chart. We're going to add some time on here now, going all the way back to August. We're going back to September of 2022. Look at this. 3 really well-defined areas of consolidation. Again, this is why we're giving the benefit of the doubt to the bulls here, and those that are looking to position with the trend are looking for long opportunities. We've been talking quite a bit about this right here, Nicole. You get a balance that forms, and then you get a test of the middle of the range, right? And then lift off as the bulls come in. And I think that might even be some shorts that are being forced to cover up there. But either way, it's continuation of the pattern. Again, really well-defined trend up here. One more step back, hourly, daily, and now a weekly candle chart. Take a look. I identified 2 areas of consolidation. 120 is the one that we're breaking out of right now, all the way up to 210 again. And yeah, simply put, a vertical phase. At some point, though, Nicole, we are going to get a little bit more rotational, right? We will get... Okay, I shouldn't say that we are going to. This is what the bulls want to see, is something a bit more rotational. It's tough to sustain this kind of momentum, a breakout phase like that, a vertical phase. And then again, that transition to the overlapping rotational is value being established after the breakout. So they don't necessarily want to see this move end, right? But they do want to see it accepted.
Understood. All right, final quick thoughts. Joel.
Absolutely. Definitely looking to be a bull here. For an entry price, preferably below 206 or lower for a long-term hold. I think, as I said, in this market, we've seen a lot of bullish momentum, want some exposure to the banks. And if I'm going to have that, I would love for it to be in JPMorgan. So looking to be a bull here for the long term.
Yeah, and on Friday we'll have Wells Fargo, Citi, Bank of New York, Mellon, and JPMorgan to kick off those financial earnings. So it's going to get super busy in this group. Thank you both so much, Joel Hawthorne and Ben Lichtenstein. Great to see you both. Thank you.